Hi, welcome back, folks. I want to end my three installments of readings to you with another thank you to the Duluth Public Library for asking me to do this. Again, I'm reading from a new piece. This is part of a short story collection called Kulkari, which in Finnish, I'm not a Finn, but I read a lot about Finns, means vagabond. And this is from a novella, which is a short form of a novel, longer than a short story, shorter than a novel. The title of the novella is The Angle, and this is from chapter 2 of that work. I couldn't catch a break. I had a wicked curve, but my fastball never topped 82, which meant no college recruited me to be their closer, the guy who comes in at the end of a baseball game, usually in the ninth inning, shuts the opposition down. I had 10 saves my senior season, a respectable 2.1 earned run average, but I gave up 5 homers, showing college scouts I was vulnerable to power hitters, and ended up with a 1-win, 3-loss record. I was, in a word, serviceable as a high school pitcher, but college? That remained to be seen. After mucking around minimum wage jobs in and around War Road for a couple of years, I toyed with the idea of walking on at the University of Minnesota Duluth, a D2 school, or approaching St. Scholastica, a private D3 college, also in Duluth, about a tryout. But then, my Uncle Joe, my mom's youngest brother, told me that the CN was hiring, looking for conductors. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, a conductor, the person who takes your ticket when you're on the train. No, that's not it at all. I'm not talking about passenger trains. I'm talking about freight trains and the men and women who make sure that the cars are connected in working order and that all the signals and switches along the track are operational. You go through conductor school, year 2, you can apply to become an engineer, Joe said one hot, humid August night as we sipped cold beer on the deck of the Big Lake Tavern in War Road. He was sweating up a storm, water streaming down his face and neck. He just finished playing center field on our town ball team, the War Road Wizards. We'd taken a thumping from the Green Machine from East Grand Forks. Besides, after those 2 dingers you gave up, he said with a smirk, raising his glass to players from East Grand Forks sitting at another table, I'm pretty sure college ball is not in your future. I nodded. In the 2 summers since graduation, I'd played 60-plus games. Coach Limeth said, the honorary mayor of Island Inlet, there being no actual governance to the place beyond the Lake of the Woods County Board, had taken to starting me at second base. He rarely, if ever, called upon me to start a game as a pitcher, but had no problem giving me the ball in the 8th or 9th inning if our starter was in trouble. I was a mediocre hitter, usually batting 8th or 9th, my average somewhere in the mid-200s with little power, though I was a capable base runner. In the 40-some games I'd pitched, I'd been less than stellar. My curve was still serviceable, but my fastball, as I fell out of shape, diminished to where even a good woman's softball pitcher could match its speed. Plus, even though I still toyed with the idea of trying college ball, I never worked on a 3rd or 4th pitch, something vitally necessary if I was serious about playing at the next level. You're right, Joe. I think I've hit the limit of my talent. Joe chortled. Yeah, well, you didn't lose the game tonight despite the dingers. On outfield, especially Tubby Talbot, was god-awful. My uncle paused, sipped beer from his mug, and smiled. How the hell did you misplay one routine fly and then another in 1 inning? I shook my head, drained my glass of Guinness. I get he's put on 20 pounds since last season, laid off at Marvin, what with the Great Recession and all. My uncle turned serious. But being fat has nothing to do with watching the ball into your mitt. Even you could have snagged those 2, Joe said with a wry smile. Maybe. I caught the eye of a pretty young thing, a dark-haired, short, compact woman a few years younger than me, whose tan legs, muscular and tight, in khaki shorts that were part of the server's uniform at BTW, seemed familiar. Ma'am, I said quietly, the stout not yet quite taking hold. Another Guinness? She approached, smiled, revealing jagged, irregular teeth that gleamed like small pearls. Sure, she said politely, but without a hint of interest, as she retrieved my empty and wandered off. Cute kid, Joe remarked, watching the young lady sashay through the tables and chairs, every seat on the deck occupied. Know her? I stroked my chin. One of the pretty horse kids from the Angle, I said with indecision. She was a year or 2 behind me in school. Has a kid or 2. Can't remember her first name, though. My uncle winked. Kids, eh? Best stay away from her. Like looking to get married in a hurry. He paused, watched the barmaid interact with the bartender. Still, she's a pretty little thing, ain't she? My stout arrived. I made eye contact with the waitress, but the only words exchanged were transactional. "We're running a tab. Eddie at the bar has my card," I said, knowing that I was close to my debit card limit. My summer job guiding walleye fishermen nearly at an end, my savings and checking barely above water given my rent, car payment, and in general expenses associated with breathing. "Got it," she said, a slimmer of recognition behind her smile. We didn't acknowledge each other more formally, and if she'd been waiting for something more from me, something to hang on to and turn into conversation, that moment passed as I sat tongue-tied, trying not to stare at her chest. She walked away. I returned to Uncle Joe. "What the hell?" "What?" "No ring, that's what. You could at least make small talk, see where it goes." I sighed. "Addie," I said quietly. "Her name's Adeline Pretty Horse." "You told me to stay away from her. Make up your mind, will you?" I paused before continuing. "The CN's hiring, you say?" Joe nodded. "Conductors, good money. I can get you in the door. I'm only a lonely switchman, but I know people. I've got friends in HR. Let me see what I can do." I didn't reply. My attention was focused on the shapely Ojibwe girl standing at the bar, the declining sun still radiating heat, the sweat of the ball game, and desire rolling off me like summer rain. Again, have a great day. Enjoy the Northland. Read lots. Talk to you soon. Bye.